Hey there, and happy Thursday. It is Thursday. I had to really think hard about that. All right. Yeah, I'm a little bit late. Facebook changed up some things. I was having a really tough time even trying to post that it was going live. And so it did post, and it looks on my end anyway, really small. Usually have some color behind it, and that makes it look bolder. And I just struggled with that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to forget about that and then try to go live. And even that seemed like it was more of a struggle today than usual, but hopefully you'll find me or you'll catch this on replay like most of you do, because I'm excited about a fresh looking card here that I'm going to make for you. So way back, gosh, a few months ago in the spring, Stampin' Up! Released online exclusives. Oh, actually this I think was in the winter, maybe even back as far as like January or so, now that I think about it. And I joked because I was recovering from surgery then, so now it's starting to come back. Even like, that's kind of funny that I wasn't sure because things were fuzzy then, and I accidentally ordered the whole suite of the Brushed with Beauty instead of just some more of the paper that I wanted. And luckily I didn't have the suite yet, so I ended up getting part of that suite, 2 bundles, which I'm using 1 bundle today, and the paper, the accessories, like the little pearled dots, and vellum, and all sorts of good stuff. And it was great because I had been on the fence, and then it came and I'm like, well, now I get to use it. And I'm still using it a lot. So hi there, Diane. Let me get my camera turned around and just show you this, because what I like is just the fresh floral look of today's card. And sometimes I'm not so keen to use a card like this in a class, just because sometimes there's a few ink pad colors, and Worthington is my smallest class out of all of my due. So I thought, you know, I'm going to try and see how that goes with them. And they did great. But I did have to kind of stand there when they were at this project and walk them through it. Not that they struggle, but it's just one of those things where they were like, oh, it looks like it needs a little explanation. And so having that class be smaller is not a bad thing, because then it makes projects like this a little bit more fun that I can work on. And then afterwards, like today, if I do a video, then everybody gets to see it and enjoy it as well. So the bundle that I'm using here is Words of Beauty, and it's most of the words are centered around just because. So we've got big just because, a small, and then, or a big just because and a small, and then like lovely, I love you, you're great, it's your birthday, I think you're amazing, just because I appreciate you. And then the dies have also 3 different sizes of because and the word just, as well as some nice frames that go with that. So you can see the because. See, I feel like 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, here, because you can have it spell out, and then I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. So I've got my because here, and then I've also got another because that is going to be the outline. So there's one of the just and because, that is the words, and then it just keeps getting bigger if you want to pop that up more. So on my card, I actually pre-cut the middle size as a layering, and then the word because is what gets cut out in white. So we've got that, and these are still available. This bundle is still available. So if you're thinking, oh gosh, I haven't placed my order yet for double rewards, today is day 2 of double Stampin' Rewards, and tomorrow's the last day for that. So this paper, both this little piece here and then the main piece here, comes from the Artisan Sketched Garden Designer Series paper. Say that fast 3 times. I'm going to actually put my whole list of the supplies that I'm using here up for those that like to maybe take a screenshot or come back and pause on the video. So I've got that. So it's kind of the basis of this. And I love blue and yellow together. So that's going to be kind of my focus with adding a little bit of green. So let's get started with making this black and white look like something not just black and white, okay? All right, so let me take my, actually I'm going to put a scratch piece of paper underneath here. And because yellow is the lightest color, I like to start with that one first. And then for this project, I actually brought out my mini or the smaller blending brushes, just because we're getting into smaller spaces. And wherever there's a flower here on the card, I just go over that with my smaller blending brush. And it does not have to be perfect. So there is joy in that. Who loves hearing that this does not need to be perfect? And actually too, if you have white spots that don't get any color, that's okay too. Sometimes having a lack of color is more pleasing to the eye than having everything all colored in. So wherever there's like little flowers and big flowers, I went over this with Lemon Lolly. So you could, if you have another yellow, just maybe go lighter or something that way too. And then the next color I'm going to pull out is the green, and this is Granny Apple Green. Same thing, counterclockwise, because people are always like, what do you do with that? And I usually try and start off the edge and go over, and I'll show you why I didn't there. And you can see kind of the wisp of the brush versus less of that there. So if I got some green, just kind of coming in off the edge prevents that too a little bit. So I'm just going to, some places I kind of have to go in, so then I kind of go over there to get rid of that like thickest brush point there. All right, so I've got some yellow and some green. It doesn't look great now, but people were so excited to see this come to life. And then the last one is going to be Balmy Blue, that nice light blue color. I'm going to grab my last small blending brush here. Hi there, Lori and Diane. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so then I'm just going to kind of fill in all those extra spots. And I feel like this is when it kind of comes to life by adding some blue in that background. And I probably didn't do a great job of leaving white spots that I talked about. But sometimes that's just how it is. All right. I'm kind of just coming in, and anything else that is left now is going to get the blue. And now it went from looking like black and white paper to, doesn't this almost look like it's own designer series paper, like background, like it looks like you made it your own. And if you want to go one step further, if you have flowers that are stamps, you could take your flowers, stamp them in black on white paper, and do this technique with that and make your own background paper as well. And so now this is ready to go, and you can see the stripes. That's where I'm getting my inside piece for my card. And this is just going to get taped onto our card base, which I don't think I've even showed you or talked to you about. So the card base is the Balmy Blue color, opening this way today. And now this is going to go on here like so. And I love using vellum over busy backgrounds. And to me, this is kind of a busy background. So I have this beautiful, this is the it is the Sunset Shimmer Vellum. I had to think of the name of it. And so I've also used this quite a bit the last few months. And it has like the light pink, which I know I've showed and was like a favorite card that we use, like the Petals of Beauty, kind of that coordinating bundle that goes with this. And then we've got kind of, I'm wondering if it gives us Balmy Blue, Barely Blush, Iridescent. I was going to say, does it give us a color for this? It's called Iridescent. So Balmy Blue, Barely Blush. I'm using the Balmy Blue. Comes 12 by 12. Sunset Shimmer. And then there's six sheets. So you get 2 of each color. Sometimes when I buy multiple packets and only have so much left, sometimes then I forget how many it started out with. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the top and the middle and the bottom here because it's vellum. I know I'm going to come back and add something over the top. And since I know that that's where it's going to go, I'm just going to be good with that. Hopefully you can see the shimmer and shine of that sunset vellum because it's just so, so pretty. Okay, now we're going to build up this. And to do that, I'm going to open up my black pad here and the word just going to stamp that out like so. And then I'm going to do, let's see, just because I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just like the card. I'm trying to think what else I have. Oh, actually, I do have It's Your Birthday. I didn't think I had it on a block. Because I have It's Your Birthday, I'm going to put that one on here. So that way you can kind of see the difference in size and everything and see a little bit of a different take on the card. And since I have the black open, I'm just going to bring over my 4 by 5 1/4 basic white and then do this one also just because I think you're amazing. Let's see. Would work, but this is going to go for the inside. All right, so that can be brought over there. Whoops. And let's see. I don't know why my black looks like a little wet. So this, instead of smearing something, I'm just going to take this little strip. Sometimes when we have those little leftover pieces, then I just like to cut them down a little bit and decorate here on the bottom. So I'm just taking kind of this 3/4 inch by 4 inch and adding that because then it kind of coordinates the black and white from what we started with that. If you want to use the back side, which looks exactly like this, you could do that as well. So now I'm just going to put on some adhesive here. Hi Donna, thanks for joining in and watching. Okay, so kind of doing things a little bit backwards, but like I said, better than having it smear. And then I also thought I was going to be stamping out the word because in white, but when I look at my class supplies, I see there's an extra one here that's stuck to the back side. So ahead of time to prepare for class, I love doing this. I love our adhesive sheet. So I take a strip that is as wide as the because in basic white, and then ahead of time I just put a whole sheet or a whole section of the adhesive sheets on there, so then I can just roll it through, because when prepping for classes it's easy for me to take the because and roll those out when there's no adhesive, but if I roll a whole bunch of these out with that adhesive, that becomes a sticky mess. And because the word because is a little bit delicate, then we don't want all that work and effort and supplies to get torn and have to start over anyway. All right, so what I do with the adhesive sheet on there is just kind of press it down, the white layer on top of the balmy blue. And I could have gone one layer bigger also, and it's not that it's totally huge, but that's what comes with the dies. So if you want to even incorporate like yellow into there, we could do that too, but I like just the 2 like so. And now this I'm going to take and pop up with some mini dimensionals here, and that way I can kind of get a few more popped up areas on it easily with the minis. So hold on tight as I put a few of these on. All right, it doesn't have to be absolutely everywhere. And then the It's Your Birthday, I'm just gonna take my little strip here from a dimensional sheet and give that whole long piece there a cut, and then that's going to go on there, and I'm going to get that ready, and then I'm just going to cut down the word just, and let's put a nice section. Oh, here we've got this right here. Let's put that on here as well. Just use that up too. Okay, so got that, and I think this was just sitting in case I didn't line up the other very well. And now I'm just going to kind of set this on top and make sure that I've left enough room and that it lines up well. I'm just laying it there, just to make sure that it all fits and that it's all kind of centered. And then I can give a nice press down. So there, then that all comes together. And then what I like to do is just add some embellishments, and these array of dots are perfect for that. So we've got the array of dots from the current catalog, and very nice colors for that. This, I was trying to think what color was in here, because we've got kind of the Flirty Flamingo color, the Lemon Lolly, Pretty Peacock, and I can't remember what else was in here because I must have done a class where they're all used up. But there are 4 colors in this pack. And so I'm just going to take the larger one here and bring that over to the side of the Lemon Lolly just to kind of pull that from the color that we did with the blending underneath. And then I'm just going to take the medium size one and the small one like so. Okay, now with this specialty vellum you can see where it might want to kind of start curling up on the edges. Down here, I'm not so concerned about it just because our greeting goes all the way across. Well, what we can do if we want to is just take a mini glue dot here and just kind of twirl it up on take your pick tool. And then now we see exactly where that accessory goes. And just putting that underneath, you can tell it lays down a lot better. So I'm going to do that same thing with this embellishment over here too. Very nice. Just kind of a nice way to add a little bit more adhesive, but still playing well with the vellum that likes to show adhesive. So it's the way to play nice when vellum doesn't always cooperate in that way. So we've got just because it's your birthday and I think you're amazing. So I love how, like I said, how this comes together with the special technique of those blending brushes. So hopefully you had fun watching that come together as well. And like I said, today is day 2 of the double rewards, and I wish like I had a clone of me when it's like deals like the double rewards and such, or even free shipping, because I want to take all of my classes coming up in September. I've got 4 big classes coming up, and I just wish I could plan all of the supplies and order today, but I know that that's not going to happen. I did place a large order for cardstock and pretty papers for the paper sale with double rewards, just because I kind of knew like it's fall. So I thought, oh, let's just throw in some neutral cardstock and things like that. So that's easy to do too. But yeah, if you need any help placing orders with the double rewards through tomorrow, please let me know. So take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.